Yo, what's going on, man? Today is January the 9th, 2024. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show where I'm live on Twitter, also live on YouTube as well. Y'all know the vibes, man. Do me a favor, hit the like button for me if you can as you join. It's greatly appreciated. Turn the notification bell on if you want to know when I go live, and definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. It's a beautiful 5-game card for today. Not a lot that I absolutely love, but it's a couple plays that I do like and want to get to the window with that I haven't yet. Haven't hit the submit button. And then there's one big play that I won't say big, but it's one play that I really like a lot that I'll talk about in just a few. But getting to the recap, yesterday I gave out 2 plays on the show. The first one was the Bulls and the Charlotte Hornets to go under 217, which was the best number that I got the night before. And it was really pretty frustrating, man. It kept us from a sweep because the game ended up going to overtime. You see, I watched the game, and the Bulls, while they played, excellent defense for the first half of the game, their defense just really looked, it looked really bad. They gave up 2 30-point quarters to the Charlotte Hornets without PJ Washington being there, without LaMelo Ball being there. So kind of unfortunate that the game goes to overtime. Of course, they end up winning, and Charlotte can't score the ball anymore. So that was a tough one. But then the other play that I gave out, a lot of the leans cashed as well. I talked about the Clippers, winning yesterday and covering, and they absolutely mollywopped the Phoenix Suns. I was right about that. But also I gave out the Jazz plus 10, plus 8. I told you guys I still like the number at 8. You can see them win the game pretty easily yesterday. I didn't think it would be that bad, but I did think that they would catch too many points, especially just being a more healthier team. I think health plays a big part in these teams actually winning, and sometimes it's not reflected in the number all the time. I did expect the Bucks to play a little bit better, but it didn't surprise me at all that the Jazz were able to go in there and win the game yesterday. So 1-1 there, and then after the show, told you guys I was gonna find the under that I really loved, and it was Sengun, and it was a sweat. Man, it was a sweat. Sweated all the way to the end of the game where he hit a late basket, but we did get there on the under 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Sengun. He finished right at 35 yesterday. Good thing he got in foul trouble, but I also thought it wouldn't have been as much of a sweat if Bam also didn't get in foul trouble, because without Bam being out there, they really had Kevin Love just guarding him the whole time, and he was able to have a big third quarter and a big second half overall. But we did get there yesterday. We did get there with the under on Sengun. So 2-1 yesterday. The nice thing about yesterday was the under that I gave out between Chicago and Charlotte was only a half unit play, or 0.57 units to win a half unit. And then the other plays were 1 unit plays to actually win a unit. So back up to 20 plus 4 units on the season. Shout out to all my members. Hopefully everybody have been able to tell those plays and are up 20 units with me on the season. The record moves to 162, 135, and 4 overall. Do track my plays. Absolutely got to make sure we're doing that. So last thing I want to mention before I get into the show for today is the promo, as always, OddsJam, 25% off your first month using code CBC. If you guys are interested, OddsJam has a ton of great things. I always talk to you guys about this, but what I specifically use them for is the OddsJam Sportsbook screen page, where you guys can see all the odds. You can see how things, Joel Embiid just got ruled out for tomorrow in that game versus the Hawks. But you can, on OddsJam with the Sportsbook screen page, you guys can see all the odds for every single sport, for every single points, rebounds, and assists, total, spread, anything, that double, triple-double, all of those different things. It just gives you access to all of those things. So if you're in a sportsbook, if you're in a state like Virginia, like I am, you guys can get access to 14, 15, 16, 17 different sports books, and you're going to want to shop around and get the best odds. It's like going to the grocery store. You're not going to overpay for something at one grocery store if you know the other grocery store got it on sale. So this is a digital way to, just find the best odds that's available to you. Long term, it's going to save you 15 cent here, 20 cent there, maybe even for the day, depending on how high of a volume better you are. But it's a really great tool. So definitely check it out. You guys got questions about it? I typically try to pull it up during the show, let you guys know what I'm looking at. But definitely let me know if you guys got any questions about it. And we're going to get into the slate for today. So let's do just that. We have first game up. We are going to, and shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let's see the comments real quick. David, my brother, he says, happy Tuesday. What's up, Game Day? Jay, Tasha, good evening to you. Hobby Noble in here. Stoner Dad Dirk. I don't think I've seen that name before, but appreciate you for being here as well. Smoke the Goat. Keelan, Jermaine, Jay. He says clip game went over, killed my leg. Yeah, I did think that under was gonna cash last night. That's one thing that I got wrong. I didn't play it, but I did think it was gonna go under. And you see Phoenix just not play a lot of defense last night at all. Their defense is gonna struggle. Man, it's really gonna struggle. What's up, Coop? He says, shout out to the Pacers for covering and winning outright. Sucks that Holly tweaked that hamstring. Yeah, good news for Halliburton is that it looks like he's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. And it's not as bad as it looked with him being carted off. YouTube not accepting my card for some reason. So how can I join? Jermaine, shoot me a DM on Twitter, and I'll see if I'm actually about to come up with a second platform, because I'm feeling like a lot of places. I'm getting a lot of bad issues with YouTube and people just not being able to join. So shoot me a DM on Twitter at ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's, and we'll chat a little bit after the show. Shout out, we want to talk about Jaden Ivey for sure. What's up to my guy Cam? Seymour Cash. Rio so goated. Young Harlow as always. Ground up options. All right, let's go. Let's get into the card for today. 7 minutes already. We didn't even talk about a basketball game. Let's go to the land of Detroit. We're looking at the Pistons, 11-point dogs at the crib today against the Sacramento Kings. Total in this one come down from 242.5 down to 241. So not a lot of movement there, about 1.5 points on the total. I actually like the under in this game. Getting to my notes, and we talked about this yesterday, right? This was the game that I talked about at the beginning of the well, we talked about this when the news broke that Cade Cunningham wasn't going to play. DraftKings had this listed at 8.5 yesterday when the show started. So Trey Lyles was listed as questionable. He's going to play in this game. Cade Cunningham's listed as out. You also got Isaiah Stewart, who is still out for the Detroit Pistons as well. So looking at the Kings, we talked about them coming off that embarrassing loss to the Pelicans the other day. I talked about this yesterday on the show. They were down by 50 at one point in that game. And Coach Mike Brown, he started the post-game interview by apologizing to the fans that purchased tickets to watch them play so poorly. De'Aaron Fox played really, really bad in that game. I think he had more turnovers than points. This is the first leg of a back-to-back for them. They do play Charlotte tomorrow. Not a big look-ahead spot when you got Charlotte. More so, probably want to get that taste out your mouth tonight. Looking at Detroit, this team has actually been covering some spreads. They almost covered against Detroit against Denver the other day on the last leg of that road trip as well. This is, however, their first game back home after a 4-game West Coast road trip. They're 2-14 at home straight up, 6-10 against the spread, and they actually have a game tomorrow. First leg of a back-to-back. They're actually it's crazy. I was trying to guess what the line was going to be, because the Detroit Pistons actually play against the Spurs tomorrow. And I said, man, the Spurs got to be favorites with no Cade Cunningham, right? And lo and behold, they are. They're 3-point. When I checked last, they were 3-point favorites, 4-point favorites at some places tomorrow are the San Antonio Spurs on the road without Cade Cunningham being involved in that game. So that's a game for another day, but for tomorrow. But looking at this game, this is the first meeting between the two teams. The Kings did win both last season. However, they didn't cover in Detroit. They were laying 10.5 in that spot. So kind of similar to the game today. This team will be at full strength. The Kings, I looked at this team. This is the reason why I couldn't lay the points with the Kings, even though Detroit will be without Cade Cunningham, and I think that's a big factor. The Kings are 4-5 straight up and against the spread as road favorites this season. So when you're 4-5 straight up, like you're not even winning 50% of the games that you're supposed to not be winning, but also covering, I couldn't quite get there. Looking at the team total, even though Detroit's been the worst defensive team over the last 5 games, this team is going under their team total in 5 straight games as road favorites and 7 of the last 8 games as well. So should they get up for this game? Yes. I lean towards Sacramento early in this spot. I think Detroit could be going through the motions because they don't have Cade Cunningham. I think first quarter spread, first half spread could be the right size. And I think coming off of, that really, I think they ended up losing the game by 30, but they were actually getting booed. They got booed in Sacramento. No beam was lit. They actually put the beam underneath the arena because it couldn't be lit the other day. So I think Sacramento comes out. To me, they are the right side early. I don't know if I could lay the 11 with them on the road. I think that's a little too rich, but that's what the odds makers want to do. They're not gonna make the line too short, especially without Cade being there. So Detroit, we know that they're a young team. They are a lot better with with Jalen Duren in the lineup, and they still got guys like Jaden Ivey. I would be looking at his points, rebounds, and assists to go over. Seems like a square play, but he should have a ton of usage. Him, Alex Burke, those are the guys. I still be looking at Killian Hayes to go under, but everybody else I think could potentially step up in this spot. Bogdanovich could also have a big game, and the Kings are pretty lackluster on the defensive end. All that said, I still lean towards the under. And call me crazy, but I think the Pistons can still be able to keep this one close. I would, if I had to play it, I'd be taking the points with the Pistons in this spot. So that's those are my thoughts there. Let's go to the chat real quick and see what you guys are on. Tasha says she had a couple winners yesterday. Shout out to Tasha. Love the lady gamblers, the lady cappers. Let's see. Jermaine actually was able to join. My guy. Glad you figured it out, Jermaine. My guy, appreciate you joining, man. Hopefully we can get some cash. Ground Up Option says he likes De'Aaron Fox threes. No way I could talk you off. I think De'Aaron Fox threes are absolutely in play today. Coop says D Fox is coming off one of his worst game, his worst game in his career. I could see him being aggressive. Early lean is his over 5.5 first quarter points. I could definitely see that as well. What up, Fremons? Coop says never forget Kings were laying 15 and lost outright. Absolutely. This is where I was going next, Raptors fan. So Raptors fan says he loves a bonus over 13.5 rebounds at -104 on FanDuel. It's simple. Pistons are bad, and now they're worse without Cade. Expect a ton of missed shots today. No way I could talk you off that. I think looking at Sabonis over on Sabonis triple-double in a win, I think is something that probably has a little bit of value in this spot. That way you're staying off the spread. Sabonis has been pretty much getting triple-doubles at will. So I couldn't talk anybody off looking at Sabonis. Maybe PRA over, triple-double in a win. Those could be really good looks. They've been running their offense through them, and they should be motivated in this spot. After getting, like I said, being down by 50, losing by 30, yeah, they should turn up in this spot. 2 Millie says Detroit team total under. Def Cab for Dorian says, yeah, he likes Alex Burke threes and Livers threes for the Pistons. Tasha said, you think you was on points with OKC first half team total over 66. What you think about first half team total over 64 for Sacramento? I think it really just depends, Tasha. The one reason why I didn't want to play this game because we don't have a game this season without Cade Cunningham for Detroit. So I couldn't really assess. I don't know if they're going to try to run faster, if they're going to try to slow the tempo down. I just really couldn't tell. And like I said, Sacramento is actually going under on their team total, but they should absolutely turn up in this spot. This is a spot where you kind of get away from the numbers. I like to look at the numbers because I think they paint a picture, and it's not me giving my necessary opinion. It's the actual facts, and I think the facts are important. But this is a game where I could see Sacramento really turning up. I'm not sure if they scored 64 in the first quarter. OKC did get to 66, like I said yesterday, but I didn't even play that. So yeah, those are my thoughts there, Tasha. JS says parlay Kings money line and Fox 6 assists at -107. Okay. Hobby says he actually owns a bonus under 32.5 points and assists. He's a little worse on the road, and this is a point guard game for Fox, similar to Jokic and Murray. Okay. Okay. Fremont says he likes that first quarter, first half. Could Jalen Duren and Sabonis both get double-digit rebounds? Absolutely. Houday. Detroit should miss probably 50 shots in this game. Yeah, it's going to be tons of rebound opportunities. So if Jalen Duren isn't getting offensive rebounds, Sabonis should be getting defensive rebounds for sure. And Game Day Jay says he likes Fox threes. Could not talk you off. Coop says the ball might move a little bit more without Cade. In his opinion, I would agree with that as well. Let's get back into it. So next game up, we got, and as you guys join, do me a favor and hit the like button. Next game up, we got Timberwolves and we got Magic. This is maybe the game of the day. I really like this game a lot. So this line actually opened with yesterday. It was 4. The Magic were the Magic were 4-point home dogs. That line moved to 5, and now we see the line all the way up to 4. And hold on, do we got lines, baby? No, we don't. Okay, make sure I'm not sure. We got the lines all the way up to 5.5 in favor of the Timberwolves now. The total did come down from 220 down to 217. It looks like it's a consensus, and I would agree with the line coming down. We get two really solid defensive teams. We know the Magic are a really strong physical team. Their offense can sputter at times, and the same thing with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are a really good defensive team. The reason why the Timberwolves don't win when they don't win is typically their offense. They just can't keep up with some of these high-paced teams. We saw it in some of these high juggernaut type offensive teams. We saw it in the game against the Dallas Mavericks the other day with Kyrie and Luka kind of taking over in the second half. So this is a nice spot, I think, though, for Minnesota overall. I just look at a couple of different things. First of all, they don't really have anybody on the injury report. Everybody that's a part of the rotation, even though Naz Reid was getting his hand and his pinky ice yesterday, he was not on the injury report. He could be a little limited in this spot, but he's not on the injury report. For Orlando, Franz Wagner, Gary Harris, Wendell Carter Jr., all listed as questionable. I don't think that, well, I'm not sure if any of those guys got ruled out, but I'm pretty sure, let me just check the injury report real quick. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, Wendell Carter Jr. is out, Gary Harris is out. I think when I capped these last night, I just hadn't changed it. Joe Ingles remains out. Jonathan Isaac is out as well. I don't like that for Orlando. I know that this team has been balling. They're 13-4 straight up at home, 12-4 against the spread at home, 8-2 in their last 10. This is their second game back home, and they're off the overtime game. Typically, you want to fade teams off of overtime, especially if it's a win. Atlanta just ran out of gas. I thought Atlanta was in a good spot in that game on Sunday because Orlando was actually coming home, and it was their first game off that long West Coast road trip. Now you get them off second game at home. Looking at the Timberwolves, this team is not as great on the road as they are at home. They're 11-8 straight up on the road, but and just 8-11 against the spread. So typically they don't cover on the road. They also are just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. This is the third game of a 4-game road trip. First leg of a back-to-back with the Boston Celtics on deck tomorrow. So a couple of different things I looked at. First of all, like I said, I already think that, and this is something that we've seen be profitable over the last week or two, is that when you see these teams without star players, most of the time, not every single time, but when key rotational players are missing and they're playing against a superior team, they've typically not been able to win that game. Last week we were on the Clippers against the Phoenix Suns when the game was played in Phoenix because Kevin Durant was ruled out. We took the money line, we took the 2.5. The game was never really even close. And I think for me, that's how I kind of see this game. You get Minnesota in a motivated spot coming off the loss against Dallas. They're 8-1 straight up off a loss this season. They typically bounce back off those losses. They're winning those games by average of 12 points per game off a loss. In road games, they're 8-3. In their road wins. So just take the spread out. If you just look at them winning the game on the road, they're actually 8-3. They've covered 8 of the 11 games that they played on the road, and their average margin is 12 points. So when they win on the road, they typically do by double digits. You look at Orlando, I talked about them being banged up. In my estimation, they only beat Atlanta in their game returning back home because Atlanta was, let's just face it. Atlanta is actually one of the worst teams in the league. When you got guys like Caleb Houston playing 36 minutes and Okeke playing 38 minutes, I think Minnesota is the right side here. I looked at Orlando and their home losses. So when they do lose, they haven't covered any spread. They're 0-3 against the spread off a loss, and they're losing those games by average of 14 points. 2 of the 3 have actually come by double digits as well. So I think Minnesota is the right side in this game. Also looking at Orlando, we know that this is another thing I looked at. Paolo eventually got to run out of gas, right? Like you go through and just look at his box score. Dude's been unbelievable. I think he's going to the All-Star game. I love Paolo's game. I think he's one of the best up and coming bright stars that we have in the game, especially for his age group. For the sophomore class. Paolo eventually got to run out of gas though. Dude's played 43 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes. He had the double overtime game, and he was a little banged up in Sacramento. Then they go to Denver and they win that game outright. Then they come back home. They beat an Atlanta team that I felt like they probably should have lost against. The spot said to not take them. So I think they run out of gas here. I don't think that the rest of these guys are going to be able to kind of hold their own weight. Gogo Batadze should get dominated by Rudy Gobert. Also don't think they have a really good matchup for Karl Anthony Towns. He should absolutely eat. A big position deficit is Orlando is the power forward position. That's typically where they give up a ton of points. So I like Minnesota in this spot. I didn't play Minnesota, but I do agree with the line moving up to 5.5. If I had a top look on the card for today, it would be Minnesota. I'll tell you guys what I did do. And that is, I'll tell you guys now before we get to the next game. I parlayed Minnesota money line because, like I said, I do feel like they win. Also, they play Boston tomorrow. They're going to lose that game. Boston's still undefeated at home. Jason Tatum already off the injury report for tomorrow. I parlayed Minnesota money line with the Mavs money line at -107. That's what I did do. That's the play that I'll give you guys that goes along with this game, even before we got to the second game. Let's see what y'all like in here for this one. Shadow says during double is a good look. Not sure what the odds are there. Couldn't talk you off. Go Young DJ says during double in Kings money line. No way I could talk you off that. Smoky Steam Bet says I hope the Wolves go all out tonight and win. I'll be on the C's first half and full game tomorrow. I'm right there with you. I will be right there with you. Rob Maddox says Chris about to go dead presidents on us in all black. Hey, I'm just trying to get some cash, man. Just trying to get some cash. Minnesota team total. I tell you, I don't know if I would play the team total over. I think this, because both teams play really, really slow. I think that favors me towards Orlando team total under. I think this is how I think the game gonna play out. I think Orlando runs out of gas. I really, really do. Eventually, it's gonna catch up with them. They played two overtime games within the last week. They played a 2 overtime game, an overtime game. Had to travel back from Denver. Had to travel from Sacramento. Play Golden State. All this has happened since last Tuesday. So I think that, and then you got fresh guys, but you don't have experienced guys. Minnesota coming off loss. I think Orlando team total under the 105 is the right play in this game. And Franz being out. Like I said, Coop, I agree. Right there with you. What's up to my guy Justin? Says he just pulled up. Kenneth says, what's good? Love the under 217. Minnesota versus Orlando. Two of the slower paced teams. I would agree there. What's up, S. Dot? My brother. Cash and time. Absolutely. Raptors fan says, I do think Paolo goes under on his points. Give me his under 27.5. He's going to be facing a really rough Minnesota team, and I'm expecting some negative regression from him here. That was actually the look that I tweeted out earlier, Raptors fan. Haven't gotten there yet, but if I play Paolo tonight, it's going to be under on his points plus assists. Like I said, I think Minnesota stifles them. I take the rebounds out because he is a pretty good rebounder. Minnesota can also miss shots that create opportunities for him as well. But Paolo under his assists plus points is what I'm looking at. Probably my favorite player prop of the day. Haven't locked it in yet. Estai says Wolves -4.5 and under. Could not talk you off. Cal B says join late. What are your official plays so far? Cal B, I parlayed the Minnesota money line with the Dallas Mavericks money line. Let's get into this next game. So we got Blazers, we got Knicks at the Garden. Probably be a little turned at the Garden. These Knicks have been hooping. This line opened yesterday with them laying 11. It's up to 12.5 now. Line getting even stronger. Total not really moving a lot. Opened at 228, 228.5, some 229s out there as well. Let's see. So Matisse Thybulle is still a toss-up to play in this game. So is Jacoby Walker. Aiden's still listed out. And then the Knicks don't really have anybody out. So on the Portland side, this is the 5th game of a 7-game road trip. They won as 5-point dogs the other day in Brooklyn. They play in OKC on Thursday, where they did lose 134-91 in their meeting earlier this season. So potentially could be looking ahead. Whenever you lose by 43 points, you could potentially have that one circle. Let's just put it like that. On the Knicks side, 10-4 straight up at home, 8-5-1 against the spread at home. This team is 4-0 straight up and against the spread since the OG Anunoby trade. They're the best defensive team in the league since the trade. This is a one-off home game for them, however. They came off the 2-game road trip where they beat Philly. They beat the Wizards in DC as well on, on Saturday? Or was that Sunday? No, it was on Saturday. And then they do have a game in Dallas on Thursday, which is a nationally televised game as well. I think that's a TNT game with Brunson going back, facing his old team in the Dallas Mavericks. The Knicks games since the trades are averaging about 219 points. I did some deep diving in this. They're going under by an average of 9 points per contest. And the Knicks are 8-2 against the spread at home wins. So when they're at home and they win the game, they do cover. Surprisingly enough, 8-2 against the spread at home. They've actually covered the last 4 in a row. Looking at the Blazers, if you listen to the post game interview, not after the Brooklyn game, but before the Brooklyn game, because the Blazers had actually got smoked twice back to back. One time without Luka, one time with Luka, the second time without Luka to the Dallas Mavericks. And you hear Coach Chauncey Billups talk about, just really like being disappointed in the lack of effort. They actually brought that effort to Brooklyn on Sunday, and they played okay. This team, however, still, even with going out there, winning that game in overtime, which is also another reason you want to fade them, they're 6th in pace over the last 5 games, but they're second worst offensive rated team over the last 5 games as well. This team is just 5-9 against the spread in their road losses, and their average margin of defeat when they lose on the road is about 14 points. They've actually failed to cover for their last 4 games that they've lost as well. So when they cover, they could potentially win outright. When they lose, they typically don't cover the game, which I think is indicative of why this spread is the way that it is. The last 4 times they've lost on the road, it's been by 20 plus points. So if you do want to lay the points with the Knicks, there's some support there. I don't really know what to do with this game. I did kind of want to get there with the Blazers team total under, just because it was something that we cashed on with the, fading the opponent for the Knicks in their game on Saturday. And similar to that Washington Wizards team, this Portland team does remind me a lot of that team. I think you just got to really slow down Anthony Simons. You still got Jeremy Grant out there, which I don't think anybody's really scared of Jeremy Grant. And I do kind of lean towards Portland team total to go under. That way you kind of staying off the Knicks. I told you guys last week, at the beginning of last week, I was going to stay off Knicks games for the last 2 weeks, for the next 2 weeks. And I've done a pretty good job of that. We did cash on the team total under, but not taking any spreads, not taking any totals for the Knicks or betting on any of the Knicks players. So I kind of lean Portland team total to go under, but didn't quite get there with this one. That would be my top look in this game. Probably a live betting spot. Couldn't talk anybody off. Knicks starting slow. Portland, starting a little fast, especially, with them coming off the overtime game. Might be a little juice. Didn't have to travel far from Brooklyn to New York. From MS to MSG from the Knicks, from the Brooklyn Nets arena. And then maybe you take the Knicks in the second half if the line is a little bit shorter than the 11 and a half that they're laying in the spot, is what I would think. Let's see what you guys are liking in the chat. What's up, Tariq? He says, if you add the Knicks to your parlay, is that plus money? I'm not putting the Knicks in a parlay, Tariq. Best of luck, bro. You can have the Knicks. I don't like to do crazy parlays. I like to, give me 2 things, man. Close to even money, and I'm fine. I'm not one of those guys that's gonna be hitting no long shots, because more times than not, they don't cash for me. So I typically stay off of them. Hobby says, what is it that the Knicks, what is it that made the Knicks so much better, Chris? Is OG really that much of an impact and good on defense? I would say so, Hobby. I would say so. I would say so. I think OG and Tom Thibodeau are a match made in heaven. I'm not sure if there's another player and coach that blend as well as them. OG is the perfect guy for a Tom Thibodeau style, like a Tom Thibodeau player. I think it's absolutely just that. You see RJ Barrett not getting as many shots because of course he's not getting any shots because he's not there. And then you just got, I think some of it, they will regress. Don't get me wrong. The Knicks will regress. They won't be this hot forever. But no, other guys are starting to step up. You see, other guys like Josh Hart even having a bigger impact. You see, guys like just all of those guards. I can't think of their names at the moment, but DiVincenzo, all of those guys are kind of stepping up. So yeah, I think it's that. Coop says Blazers are very turnover prone. These are good spots for OG Anunoby, DiVincenzo, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Josh Hart for steals. Couldn't talk you off that. Raptors fan says he loved OG over 1.5 steals at plus 136 on FanDuel. Taking a chance on this, and he has hit this in 3 of his last 5 games and 2 of his last 4 games as a Knick. Okay, yeah, back at the Garden. I mean, if you want to make the people in New York happy, play defense. They'll be happy with you. Damani says OG is the new Luol Deng. I don't know about that, bro. Luol used to get buckets. OG not that good on the offensive end. He don't even try. He just really be out there shooting wide open shots and running towards the rim, trying to get putbacks. In my opinion, I don't know. I wouldn't compare him to Luol Deng though. Luol Deng used to get busy every now and then. What does Dream think about Josh Hart PRAs tonight? I'm not sure, Taylor. You gotta ask Dream, bro. Send Dream a DM or check his show out. Dream got a show. He do a show every single day on his YouTube channel. Go check my guy Dream out. All right, let's keep going. We got a couple more games to get to. 2 more games to get to. We got Grizzlies and we got Mavs. This line is it still 8? It's actually up to 9 now. So this line is moving. And is that because did we get any news about Luka? I know he got downgraded to questionable earlier before the game started. earlier around like 115, 120, I think he got downgraded. I don't see anything about Luka. Y'all let me know if y'all see any updated news about Luka. But he did get downgraded. It could just be Jared Jackson Jr. as well. I know he was listed as questionable, but this is just it's a really bad spot for the Dallas Mavericks in my estimation. I mean, for the Memphis Grizzlies in my estimation in this spot. You look at these two teams. Minnesota got the real bad news yesterday about Ja Morant. Really unfortunate that he's not going to be able to play in this game. For also on the Memphis side, you also look at Jared Jackson Jr. Knee contusion listed as questionable. They're still going to be without Derrick Rose, so they're just really limited. You do get a big effort. You probably will get big efforts from Desmond Bane and Marcus Smart in this game, but Lively also, I don't think is going to play. Dante Exum, I think, also listed as out, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure I'm giving you guys the right information. Lively is Luka likely to play. Dante Exum ruled out. Lively ruled out as well. Memphis 11-9 against the spread on the road. They're 10-10 straight up. Last game of a 3-game road trip, back-to-back wins and covers against the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't like the spot. I think that this team is going to be impacted with the news about Ja Morant. We got to remember that they had went like 6-3, 7-3 in the games that since Ja Morant has came back, and now you get this news that he's not going to play for the rest of the season. Dallas, this is a really good spot for Dallas in my opinion. They are 7-3 against the spread. Got the big win against the Timberwolves the other day in their last 10 games. 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. This is a 4th straight home game for them as well. This is typically a spot you don't want to fade. They've actually covered and won 3 in a row. They're also 4-1 straight up and against the spread in home games versus teams they've beaten already this season. And they did beat this Memphis team without Ja Morant earlier this season. So looking at Dallas, like I said, not a spot that I want to fade. You see Kyrie come back in the last game. He absolutely hooped. You see, we all know Luka is pretty unguardable. And to me, it's always pretty telling when you not have just these conference games, but you have divisional games and you see these big lines, right? Especially with two teams that are supposed to be comparable. These teams are not comparable with Memphis, kind of missing Ja for the first 25 games of the season. So one thing I looked at was for Dallas, I looked at teams since the 2018 season, home favorites in divisional games, like I just kind of talked to you guys about, rested. Playing against an opponent that's also rested, and they're supposed to win by margin, so win by 7 or more, and their opponents actually just won outright as a dog on the road. Those teams are 17-5 straight up, 14-8 against the spread. So profitable both on the money line if you guys want to parlay them with something, which is what I did, and profitable against the spread as well. One more angle I looked at was same timeline, 2018 home favorites, divisional games. Rested, opponent rested as well, laying 7 points, and their opponent is actually on the 3rd and final game of a road trip. Those teams are 27-5 straight up, 19-13 against the spread. So most of the time when you catch these divisional games where the line is really skewed one way, the books are kind of telling you something. And I think that's the play here. As long as Dallas doesn't overlook this Memphis team, I think they absolutely can clean them up. I don't think that this one should be close at all. I know that, like I said, that Memphis is covered. They covered against Phoenix. They covered against the Lakers. We got some heroic efforts from Desmond Bane, Jared Jackson Jr., and Marcus Smart in those last couple games. But especially with Santi Aldama being out, it's next man up mentality. But we've seen Memphis really be able to really struggle to be able to score. So I like Dallas, which is why, like I said, I parlayed them on the money line. Dallas and Minnesota. I like Minnesota a lot tonight as well. Parlay those two on the money line. I would still lay the points. I don't know if I laid a 9. Yeah, if you can get an 8.5, I think the 8.5. I was actually close to laying the 8.5. I like both teams that I like today on the spread. I actually like on the money line. I like both of them on the spread as well. Minnesota, I would lay the 5, and Memphis, I would lay Dallas. I would lay the 8.5 as well. I think it's a double-digit win for the Dallas Mavericks as well. So one more thing I want to look at real quick, just before I get to the next game and before I get to the comment section. I just want to look at the Mavericks real quick in their home wins. See how many they're winning by typically. So yeah, the Mavs are when they do win at home, they are 9-2 against the spread. So they cover these numbers. They cover big numbers. They cover small numbers. Matter of fact, when the Mavs are laying more than 6 points, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 5-2 against the spread, and they are 5-2 against the spread. And they've actually covered the big numbers. The 11 that they laid against the Trailblazers, the 11.5 that they laid against the Jazz, the 8 that they laid against the Spurs. So yeah, Mavs to me are the right side. They're winning those games by average of 17 points per game when they do win at home. So I do think Mavs are the right side. If you look at the same exact thing, and I just look at the Grizzlies, and I look at them in their away losses, they're losing by an average of 17 points. So we could see some blowouts tonight. When the Grizzlies lose, the Grizzlies are 1-9 against the spread when they do lose on the road. So if they lose, they never cover. Average line is typically 5. They typically lose by 17, 121 to 104. So take with that information and do exactly what it is that you want. But like I said, I just took the money line. Just an easy way out for me. I do think that both of those teams win and cover. Let's get back to the chat real quick, and then I'll get to the next game. Let's see. What do you think? Taylor, now the dream is here. Dream question for you. Taylor Lazicki, I think is how you pronounce that. Excuse me if I butcher that. Says, what does Dream think about Josh Hart PRAs? Almost like we was doing a jointed show, Dream, but we're not. So I told Taylor to check your show out, and then you probably would have a look on Josh Hart PRAs. But hopefully Dream can join us on the show in a couple minutes, and we'll get Dream thoughts on that. But like I said, definitely go, subscribe to Dream's show. If Dream liked it, Dream definitely talked about it. Luka listed as probable. Appreciate you, Matthew. Tasha says Luka game time decision, nothing yet. Dominic says he likes the Mavs first half minus the 4.5. So the Grizzlies, let's see, the Mavs in the first half. So when they win at home, they typically win the first quarter by 5. They typically win the first quarter by 3. So it's an 8-point margin in the first half. I could not talk you off of that 4.5, Dominic, especially with them, being their 5th straight home game. Tasha says she likes the under 235 a lot. I think I couldn't talk you off that, Tasha. Maybe looking at when the Grizzlies lose on the road, the game's only averaging 225 points. So you got a margin, you got a good margin there. And they only scoring 104.7 points in 10 road losses so far this season are the Grizzlies. So couldn't talk you off. Ground up option says Smart assists, Bane boards, and Jackson points if he plays. Tariq, I'm with you. He says he's liking these short slates. I absolutely like him as well. Right there with you. Tariq says, the other Tariq says, there's a trend for the game on NBA SDQL trends for the matchup. Already loaded, Killer Sports. Yeah, let me know what that is, Tariq. I'm interested. Raptors fan says Luka points, rebounds, and assists over 51.5 is something I'm leaning. What are your thoughts here, Chris? I don't know, Raptors fan. I'm not fading Luka, so I'm not taking the under. But this game could get out of hand. Where Luka's, one of those games where it's a blowout through 3 quarters and Luka's kind of sitting on the bench. So I would be a little cautious. We've seen Luka cash 51.5 points, rebounds, and assists in the first half before as well. But he do got Kyrie back now. So that just gives me a little hesitation. No real thought on Luka. I just don't like it. I like it more when I know he got to play in a meaningful game. I like him, when it's a short spread. When they're laying 9.5, it tells me that the game could be over. So not as much. Raven Run likes Magic plus 5. He also likes the Mavs -9. Dallas first half, Fred says. I couldn't talk you off. Real DJ likes Mavs first quarter. Tariq says, Chris, parlay you would never touch. Lakers, Knicks, parlay. Absolutely not. Yeah, I would never parlay the Lakers and the Knicks. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I'd probably go to sleep early. Tasha says team total under 112 for the Grizzlies. That could be the look, Tasha. Real quick, when I was looking at Dallas, looking at some of their beat writer stuff, they actually got the best, third best defensive rating over the last 5 games. They've really been locking up. And that was even without Derek Lively being in the game for that last game against the Timberwolves. You could say that was a double revenge spot and they had that game circled, but they've been playing really good defense. They actually, blew the the Blazers out. I don't think the Blazers scored 100 points in either game. So yeah, just I would be a little careful. Rio likes Kyrie rebounds at 5.5. He says cash every game. Going back, especially without Lively, over 5.5. Okay, couldn't talk you off. Taylor says good looks. Would definitely check out his show. Yeah, absolutely. Check out my guy Dream show. Two totally different things me and Dream doing. He finds a lot more value than I do. But it's all love, man. Love what Dream doing over there on his channel. And I like to catch him and tune in when I can as well. All right, let me get to one more real quick. The Breeze says, just got here. You already did this game, but what you think about Ivy 8.5 rebounds and assists, cash 7 in the last 8 with K, and now he's should be running the show. Yeah, absolutely. I take Ivy over his points, rebounds, and assists actually, but couldn't talk anybody off the. I mean, what you said, the Breeze, it makes all the sense in the world. Why not play Ivy over his 8.5 rebounds and assists? He should have a ball in his hands. If Monty is smart and doesn't want to get fired tomorrow, he'll put Killian Hayes on the bench and get the keys to Ivy tonight and let Ivy kind of run that show. Dominic, last question, says, if you had to choose one, De'Aaron Fox over 26.5 points or Duren over 25.5 points plus rebounds? I think I go. It's difficult, man. It's difficult. I think I go Fox just because he's coming off a game where he had less points than turnovers. But Duren could absolutely eat tonight as well. Sabonis he gonna be a man or he gonna look really, really small tonight. Pause that. He gonna yeah, Duren is not the average 20-year-old. I know he just turned 20. He's not the average 20-year-old. Lingowick likes Minnesota, Orlando under 217.5. I would lean that way with you as well. Let's get to the last game on the board. We got Raptors and we got my Los Angeles Lakers at the crib tonight. Crypto.com Arena, 10:40 Eastern Time. Line opened at 5. You see money coming in Toronto. Push the line down to 4.5. Total shot all the way up from 230 to 236.5. And it makes a lot of sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. I'll tack the total in a second, but just looking at the game a little bit. Toronto, well, for the Lakers, Rui Hachimura, I think, is still listed as questionable. I'm not sure if we got the update on Rui. Of course, LeBron James is also listed as the toss-up to play. Anthony Davis as well. I see those guys playing. Rui Hachimura looks like he's doubtful now, unlikely to play. I see AD and LeBron playing in this game just because they don't have a game tomorrow. While the Toronto Raptors do, they actually got the Clippers tomorrow. So looking at this Toronto team, they actually play better on the road than they do at home. They're 9-9 against the spread on the road. Fourth game of a 6-game road trip, coming off the blowout win in Golden State the other day. And like I said, first leg of a back-to-back with Golden State on deck. The Lakers, 13-6 straight up at the crib, but they're not covering. They're just 7-10 against the spread at home. Fourth game of a 5-game homestand. Coming off the win against the Clippers the other day on Sunday as outright dogs. Looking at Toronto this season, they will be without Jakob Poeltl. That's the one thing I failed to mention. They actually play a little faster, and their offense plays a little bit better. Defense plays a little bit worse. In the minutes that Jakob Poeltl isn't on the floor. So their offensive rating goes from a 115 to a 117. So they're scoring a few more points. Their defensive rating drops from a 116 with them on the floor to a 118 without them on the floor. So all of those things kind of make me lean towards the over in this game. Like I said, it is themed up to 236.5 now. The Raptors have actually allowed 114.5 points per game with OG Anunoby when he was there. And in the few games that they play without OG, opponents are actually scoring 119 points per game without OG. So they're giving up about 4.5 points more. The Raptors are also playing at the 9th fastest pace over the last 5 games as well. So they picked it up, getting RJ Barrett, trying to get out, running transition. You also got you got Dennis Schroeder playing off the bench, which helps that second unit a whole lot as well. So Lakers, they got D'Angelo Russell back in the rotation. Shots started to fall just a tad bit because you get another playmaker. It looks like he's going to continue to play off the bench, at least from what we know right now. Austin Reeves is going to continue to be in that starting lineup. So with all of those things mentioned, I think my favorite play, if I had to make anything in this game, would be the Lakers team total. Over 119.5 is the number. I just think that the Lakers, I don't think that the Lakers defense is going to look like Golden State defense, where Toronto just comes out there and blitzes them. I actually lean towards the Lakers being able to cover this game. I didn't play it, not going to play it, because I probably won't be up to watch the entirety of this game with it starting so late. But I do think that I think I can see the Lakers being the right side in this game, especially getting the monkey off their back in the last game. Probably wanting to build on that success. I know Toronto's been hot, but I think that they could potentially drop this one, especially with if the Lakers come out here, blitz them early. This could be a game where you lose tonight and you're losing early, big lead, and then you got a game tomorrow, so you don't even go as hard, and you see the starters potentially rest for the Clippers game tomorrow. So I kind of lean towards the Lakers being able to cover the 4.5. I know that they haven't been trustworthy lately, but I do like the addition of getting D'Angelo Russell back. And I think that they're a much better defensive team in my estimation, especially when they're locked in and they're being able to kind of run. So lean Lakers team total over. Would probably play that before I played the side, but I do lean towards them minus the 4.5 as well. Didn't look at any player props, but I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that, Anthony Davis should be in a really great spot tonight without Jakob Poeltl being there. They should absolutely have nobody that can guard him. I think Chris Boucher is going to start. Koloko is still out. I'm not even sure who's going to play the backup center for this team without Jakob Poeltl. So Anthony Davis should be able to get whatever it is that he wants. LeBron James can drive to the rim at whatever time that he wants and be able to score on any of these guys as well. They don't have a matchup for LeBron, so it's going to be difficult to keep him outside the paint, which is why I kind of lean towards that team total to go over. I'd probably be looking at LeBron to go over his assists. And those would be my top looks. Maybe Bron assists and points over, but couldn't talk anybody off Anthony Davis points, or rebounds to go over as well. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. And then I'll get a couple speakers up as well. Let's see what y'all like here. Let's see. Seymour Cash says Raptors looking good. They came up after the trade. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Lake Show tonight outright. Yeah, I think I disagree. Probably contrarian bet, just because the Raptors have been balling. Like I said, eventually this team will come back down to earth as well. I could see it potentially being tonight. You look at them since the trade, they beat the Cavs. That was a pretty good win in RJ Barrett, first game. Then they go beat the Grizzlies by 5. They lose to the Kings, and they were in a really good spot against the Kings. We had them +5 and just got a push in that game. They gave up 135 in that spot as well. And then they beat a struggling Warriors team. The Warriors are not good right now. So not trying to discredit them, but I think their offense got better, but their defense got worse. And the Lakers are going to play defense in this spot, in my estimation. So like I said, I kind of lean towards the Lakers being able to cover the spread, but not something I'm willing to play. My guy Courtney says, "Pause that." Sid says Duran is a freak, one of my favorites, honestly. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Shadow likes 80 points, LeBron assists, quickly assists, and Barnes points. Scotty Barnes rebounds, I think, should be a sneaky play with no Jakob Poeltl. I can see him being the guy that goes down there and crashes the boards. Couldn't talk anybody off of that. Main A says FanDuel has a boost with Fox, Edwards, and Brunson to score 25. Boy, that's scary. Brunson probably gets 23. To go along with 12 assists or something like that is what I would think. Raven Run likes the over in this spot. I do. Raven Ron likes the over in this spot. I do too. Over 236.5. But I think I might isolate it a little bit with the Lakers, potentially being able to play, just some defense. I think, looking at this Lakers team, when they're at home, they tend to trend toward the under. They're 12-6 to the under. They're only giving up 108 points per game on the season. 2 of their last 3 have actually gone under this total as well. Outside of that Grizzlies game where they gave up 127, they've been a pretty much an under team, which is why I like their team total to go over a tad bit much. They're still scoring 114 points in this spot. And like I said, I think they can get to 120 just because the Toronto defense is really taking a step back without OG Anunoby being there. Coop says he likes Isaiah Quickly, points, rebounds, and assists to go over 26.5 and his threes. Raptors fan says he's on AD over his points and rebounds, 41.5. Even his rebounds over 12.5. He likes that as well. My guy Courtney says he likes Scotty Barnes rebounds under in this spot. Okay. Fremont says give him Lakers first half here. I will definitely look at this. I will look at this, Tariq. Interesting query here. So it looks like since 2019, Road Dogs coming off a win as a road dog. in their third straight road game where they had a team where previously they made more than 10 threes since February 24th of 2019. I'll look into this. I can't copy and paste, but I'll look into this. He says the teams is dogs who just won as away dogs who also made 10 threes in their previous game, playing a team on 3 games win streak are 8-42 straight up. I think that's support for the Lakers in this spot, Tariq. Thank you for. I kind of figured it out, but I appreciate you sharing that. What's up, Mikel? He says, finally talking about a game where I can comment. I'm on AD over 13 and a half rebounds in this spot. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off. Could not talk you off of that at all. Dominique says, I think about Barnes under 33 and a half points, rebounds, and assists. He's under this number in all games after the trade, but he's playing well versus the Lakers. In four games versus LA, he's had 35, 54, 34, and 48 points, rebounds, and assists. Damn, I did not know that. That's a good call out there, Dominic. Appreciate that. J Juice says, what's up, Chris? What do you think about RJ Barrett rebounds? Not something that I looked at, J Juice, but it makes sense without Jakob Poeltl. They're gonna have to go in there and crash the glass without Jakob Poeltl being there, especially against Anthony Davis. They're gonna have to box him out for sure. Raptors +5 for Matt. And Tariq says support for the Mavs. My bad, bro. I'm late. Okay, so support for the Mavs. Oh, you're talking about fading the Grizzlies off a game where they made 10 threes. Okay, I could definitely see that. He says Grizzlies were hitting hella threes last game, and the game before they were due to regress. Can they win 3 straight road games as dogs? I don't think so, bro. I'm with you. I'm right there with you. Like I said, if I had to lay the points, I would lay the points. Instead I chose to play the money line parlay, and that right now is the only thing that I play. Like I said, I got a couple others that I'm looking at, but give me the Minnesota Timberwolves, T-Wolves, and give me the Dallas Mavericks on the money line. It was -104 this morning, -107. My fault. -107 this morning. When I played it, top play of the day for myself. I'll have a few others, but like I said, I just haven't really put those in yet. So Dallas, Timberwolves, Mavs, money line parlay is what I played. Let's see. We got a couple more comments. Let me get Godspeed up. Let me get Cam up. If y'all got questions or plays that y'all want to share, shoot me requests. I'll get up a couple people real quick. Real quick, let's see what else. IQ over 18.5 points at -133 for Michael. Matthew says, gotta go back on Grizz from the other night. Mavs plus the points. Or I think you mean you're laying the points. Young Harlow says he took Indiana and BYU 2-legger in college basketball. If you like college plays, bro. No college plays for me, man. I don't trust those kids, but best of luck to you, Young Harlow. I want to get into capping college basketball. I just haven't gotten there yet. I do enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. About to go to some UVA games coming up here soon, but it's difficult when I'm always doing shows at the time of their games. Caesars has a boost with Brunson, Kyrie, and LeBron to score 25. Yeah, I hate boosts. Boosts actually make the hair on my neck stand up. I really hate boosts, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's go, Cam, real quick. What's up, Cam? Talk to me. How you doing today, my brother?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Talk to me. What's going on? How you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We had a decent day yesterday. Burke had 2 blocks in the first quarter, and then almost had a sweep, but whatever. All right, so I'm just going to jump right. I'll start with the next play I have, which is OG and Anunoby over 4.5 boards. Portland gives it up. They're like bottom 5 against defense, small forward, but they're bottom 5 for rebounding. And I just feel this is a good spot for OG to get some rebounds against this team. He's only not gotten 5 boards against them, I think, once in the last 5 games. So I really like that look for him. I'm not going to touch his points moving forward, but I think he's going to show out on the boards tonight against Portland. It's just a terrible rebounding team, if I'm going to be honest. They're not a great rebounding team ever since Aiton's been gone. So I got OG there. But then I got a couple plays in this Lakers-Raptors game. I think it's going to be a close game, personally, and I think we get blown out tomorrow. I'm not saying I think we're going to win tonight, but I think it's going to be close. My first play is contrary to what everybody's saying. It's no one's probably going to agree, but I actually took Anthony Davis under his PRA 45.5. He's done it once in like the last 10 games against the Raptors, going all the way back to his New Orleans day. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but if you look at the box score, I've watched the games, so it was like the first thing I went to look at. I was curious about where they're going to have his PRA. I know Pirtle's at. I get it. Pirtle wasn't there in 2019, wasn't there in 2020, wasn't there in 2021, and he went 27, 8, 3, 14, 6, and 3, 12, 9, and 7, 8, 9, and 3 against the Raptors. I don't know what it is, but being 45 and a half under just feels like I could see him getting 30 and 10 for sure. I could see him getting 27 and like 14, but I think it's a bit inflated. So I jumped on that line. So that's my first play. And then my next one is Emmanuel quickly. Unfortunately, this line has moved. I gave it out on my timeline earlier because I had a feeling it was going to. I got quickly rebounds and assists over 8.5. He's hit that every single game except one with the Raptors since he's been here, and he's soared over it. So if you can't get the minus 115 that I got it at, because I think it's like minus 135 plus everywhere now, just go to FanDuel and alt it and pick whichever alt you like. I actually have alted up to 11.5. I skipped a bunch and I went to 11.5, which is plus 280. But you can get his 9.5 at plus 118. Just realistically, the books haven't caught up to this for whatever reason yet. He's consistently got the ball in his hands. He's a great rebounding guard, and he's looking to distribute a lot more with the Raptors. And one thing, and I think you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, when it comes to the fast break, how are you guys on it? Because I think one of the things we'll probably try and do, and one of the reasons like you'll see like a Pascal maybe not get as many boards in this game, like a Scotty's a really good look, by the way, is we like to get the board and then outlet as soon as possible. We like to throw it over the entire defense. It's something quickly he's actually shown he's really good at. So I think he's going to be one of the primary beneficiaries of Pirtle being out. I also took RJ Barrett over his assists and rebounds at over 7.5. Also has hit that every single game. He's been with the Raptors except for one. I do think these lines will get fixed at some point. That's why I'm jumping on them now, just because. And then it happens when you get trades and such, and or guys coming back from injury where the lines just don't adjust. So those are the two that I'm jumping on. So just to kind of quickly recap, OG over 4.5 rebounds plus 110. Quickly over 8.5. I got 115, but if you can't find that, you'll get over 9.5 at plus 118. And then also RJ over 7.5 rebounds and assists at my 15. And then AD under his PRA 45.
Okay. Hey, best of luck tonight, Cam. Real quick, I looked at what you were talking about. So you guys do lead the league in fast break points at nearly 18 a game, 17.9. The Lakers are also top 5 at 16.4. You guys defend. Give up less fast break points. I see y'all at 10th right now. Give up the 10th fewest fast break points, while the Lakers actually give up the 6th most fast break points. So there was some support for the over, especially if both of these teams going to turn the ball over. So yeah, I couldn't talk you off.
Yeah, you can expect like quickly and Barnes to get maybe 2 or 3 assists that are just Hail Marys because Pascal Siakam leaking down the floor.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Things I look at the assist number 2, they're gonna get some cheap ones.
Okay. All right. Hey, best of luck, Cam. Appreciate you, my guy. Flo, what's going on, my brother? Talk to me. How you?
Feeling excellent. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. The Knicks play basketball, so I know we got some looks. Talk to me.
It's time to make some money, man.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 plays tonight. First one at the top is FanDuel. Was plus 117, but I know it plummeted. It's Julius Randle's 3.5 assists plus the Knicks first half and 4-game money line. I got that at plus 117. Basically, Julius Randle, he had like the one game where he had 0 assists, but since that trade, his usage has been sky high. He's had 9 and 10 potentials. I want to say he's over the 4 assists, the 3.5. I would say 4 of the last 5. And it's just like one of those games where it's like the Blazers play fast and they're dumb on defense. And they're also the worst team in the league at defending the rim. So I just think they have to double this guy if they want any chance at all. So in all these games where basically the Knicks play these teams like this, which is like the Pistons, the Hornets, basically Julius Randle gets 4 assists and oftentimes gets 5 assists in all these games. So I really like that one. My play of the day is basically Dante DiVincenzo and OG for a steal each, and the Knicks money line. That's plus 100 at PointsBet. They've done this in each of the last 4 games since the trade, 4 for 4. Knicks 4-0. And also, if you look at the Blazers, they give up the most steals on the road at 9.5, second most overall in the NBA. And in 3 of the last 4 games, literally the entire starting 5 for the opposing team has a steal. So pretty crazy trend there. So I rock with that. DiVincenzo's threes at 2.5. I went with that as my third play. 6+3 attempts in every game since the trade. And the Blazers are one of the worst teams on the perimeter. And the last one I'm on, fourth play is this one's like kind of out there, but I just like it because the blowout potential and the fact that the Blazers bench gives up threes to whoever the spot up shooter is Grimes at 6.5 points, and I also sprinkled at his 3 threes at plus 240, I think it is now. Like, so random fact, Quentin Grimes is the only dude who has a brother who plays in the NHL. So his brother was playing at MSG yesterday, and his mom flew out from Texas. So basically, his brother played at MSG yesterday, and his mom saw the game yesterday, and his mom's in there to see the game tonight. And his mom was supposed to see him play 2 years ago, but he got hurt at halftime, so he didn't finish the game. So I'm like, man, what better opportunity for 6.5 points for Quentin Grimes to just get a bunch of meaningless threes in a game against the Blazers where his mom's in the building and all the motivation, and it's just too perfect. It's 6.5. And hold on, let me pull up the numbers real quick. He should see last game was a weird one because the Wizards kind of got back into it, but he should see 18 minutes. And when he's played 18 minutes, I'm going to say he's over 6 of the last 7 for 6.5 points. So I took the 6.5 points and sprinkled on the 3 threes. I also did a nice little fun leg because I think the Lakers are awful and I want to root for them quickly. I did Grimes 3 threes and Quickly's 4 threes for 9.20. I just think that was a fun little long shot to have for tonight.
Okay. Hey, Flo got the looks, man. Definitely check out my guy Flo page, man. Shoot him a follow as well. We call him the Knicks Insider. The Knicks Insider. He's up there with Fred Katz, if y'all know who that is.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Listen, I've been playing those lanes. You want to hear a crazy lane? I haven't pulled on it yet, but it's Miles McBride over 1.5 assists on BetMGM. It's taken everything within me to stay disciplined. He has 4 and 5 the last 2 games. Thibodeau finally trusts him. He's the backup point guard. I don't know.
You ain't pull the trigger on that, Flo?
They said that he's the replacement to Quickly, so good luck.
I just don't trust Tom Thibodeau. The dude was going to miss a defensive assignment and play 7 minutes, and you're like, of course. But
that's true. That's true, bro. I like your glass half empty, glass half full approach with that, because, like you said, he has played 15 to 13 minutes in the last 2 games, but you're right. One wrong defensive assignment, he might not see the floor until next week. So I can see that as well. Thibodeau wouldn't surprise me if he played Jalen Brunson the whole game and not even sub him out.
Yeah, Julius Randolph. Bro, they had the starters up against the Wizards. The Wizards backups for 2 minutes, and Randall and Brunson are still going to pick the roll. I'm like, what the hell?
I was watching that. I was on the Wizards team total unders. I was happy about that. But shout out to Tibbs, man. He's the one. You don't have to worry about minutes. You do not have to worry about minutes as long as you're not in the doghouse. You will come out and play, at least get your minutes to shine.
It's just like the anti-Monty Williams and Dwayne Casey.
That's a fact.
The books hate Tibbs.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, best of luck tonight, Flo. I appreciate you sharing the looks, man. Like I said, shoot my guy a follow if you guys haven't already as well. Let's go Dream, and then we'll go Godspeed. Dream, what's the vibes, my guy? How you doing?
What's the vibes, my boy? Appreciate the kind words. How you?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm coolin', man. I always forget. So my little sister, I know you in the DMV. I ain't trying to put your information out there. The DMV is big as hell. But my little sister just moved down there, man. So maybe I could meet you because I'm gonna go down there and visit her in the next couple months. I forget where she at. I think Laurel, Maryland, or some shit. I don't know, man. But yeah, man, I might pull up on you or something like that.
Okay, yeah. Now we could, if she up there, we could. I mean, it's a BetMGM up there. Yeah, it's casinos and all that. So yeah, we could definitely link, bro. Just you got my number. Hit me. Definitely hit me. Let me know when you coming through. You still there, Jay? I think he might have might have lost service. Let's go Godspeed real quick, then we'll come back to Dream. Godspeed. Oh, you good, Dream?
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost out for a minute though. What did you say? I heard you say bet MGM.
Yeah, no, I said if she in Maryland, BetMGM is actually right in DC. We could like we can go to the casino, bro. Like just let me know when you coming down. Like we could definitely like link up for sure.
All right, man. Yeah. So appreciate it. I'm gonna be real quick with it. Kind of give y'all information. I'm gonna give y'all straight a blood money bet and just some information. All right. So probably my favorite straight because I did like research and shit. Try to get better with these straights. So I play a two-legger. I played the Kings money line, and I put it with the Portland team total under 110.5. I don't know, Chris, mate, did you just give out the regular team total? If not, I'm gonna just move on.
No, I didn't. I said I liked it, and that probably be my favorite play in the game. But I didn't play it though. I didn't play it. So yeah, expand upon that. I like that though, Dream, because then you allow them to score a few more points. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So like simple, the Knicks, they've been like the second best defensive team since OG got there. They haven't given up 110. Shit, probably I don't think they're giving up 105, but they haven't given up 110 since OG got there. Portland has also scored less than 103 in 3 of their last 5 games, twice against Dallas and once against the Suns. So now they do have 2 games of like 130 against Brooklyn and like 120 against somebody else. But I think it's a good spot there, and I put it with the Kings money line. I think it's like a minus 120, so I put a unit on that. As far as the blunt money bet, I just posted on my timeline. Drop Reese, I don't know.
I think you said it right the first time, James, for Portland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Drew Brees from Portland Center, his double-doubles plus 500. Jabari Walker just got ruled out, so he could be looking at another 40 minutes tonight. He just had, I think, like 12 and 16 last game when he got his first start, and he plays blowouts. That's what I like most about him. He plays blowouts. So let me see. He's coming off a 15 and 13 game in 41 minutes. Game before that, he had 16 and 7 in 27 minutes. So, yeah, I like that. I got a few more looks on my page as well. So yeah, y'all can check that out. And a little information, just some trends and shit. So I was talking to Flo about this earlier, and I know Flo got his Knicks system. But long story short, small forwards, power forwards, and centers each have a steal in 4 of the last 5 games versus Portland. So if you look at the 4 of the last 5 games versus Portland, the small forward, the power forward, and the center of the opposing team each have a steal. There's like 3 games where 3 of the 5 starters have 2 steals. I mean, long story short, I could not talk you off of playing everybody in the Knicks starting lineup to get a steal besides Randall. He'll probably get 1 too. But the way I chose to attack that was playing Isaiah Hartenstein, PRA steals and blocks. That's on FanDuel. It's like a minus 144. And I put that with Malik Monk, 5 assists for plus 150. But I think Isaiah Hartenstein is going to get a block and a steal very early, and he does assist the ball as well. So just want to leave y'all with that. And last but not least, Marcus Sasser, Detroit Pistons, drop the lines, you cowards. I want Marcus Sasser lines. Yes, Killian Hayes. Yes, Alex Burks. Yes, a lot. Ivy. Kevin. A lot of people could get busy tonight. But if this is a blowout, like I think it's going to be a blowout, Marcus Sasser, who may actually, he's a guard for the Pistons, by the way. He may actually get back into the rotation because he was in a rotation when somebody was hurt. Maybe Ivy. And he was doing his thing when he was in the rotation. But then all the guards came back, so he had to fall back out the rotation. So I'm laddering him. If we get lines, I'm laddering him whether or not he's in a rotation. I'm laddering him just hoping he plays bench minutes. But if he's actually in a rotation, which means he'll get like, end of the first quarter, top of the second quarter minutes, and he'll play in the second half, you got to like Sasser. You'll probably be able to get his 10 points at like plus 200, 300, 400. If 15 pops, it'll be plus 750. His threes are also a good look. They may pop at 2 at plus money, 3 at like plus 400 or 500 or something like that. Or they may just not drop the lines. But yeah, Marcus Sasser, Detroit Pistons, somebody who I'm just waiting for his lines to drop. Sorry for being so long-winded. Appreciate the time, my guy.
No. That's really all great information, Dream. I like Sasser too. He actually played in the last game. I was watching the Denver game because I had gave out their team total under, Detroit team total under when K got hurt at halftime of that game. And I remember watching him play. He had 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist in 11 minutes in that game. So Yeah, everybody going Ivy. And couldn't talk anybody off, but like Dream said, Sasser could be in a really, really good spot, especially if, like I said, if I don't know how much Monty really wants his job. I know they gave him $80 million. I don't know how much guaranteed, but if he really wants his job, he'll start playing Sasser, the rookie from Memphis, over somebody like Killian Hayes, man. Killian Hayes. But appreciate Dream. Like I said, shoot Dream a follow if you guys haven't already. That Laker total going up to 238.5 now. So money's still coming in on that game, even though the spread hasn't really moved a lot at all. I heard people say Minnesota spread came back down to 4.5, but I don't see it anywhere. I see 5s and 5.5s everywhere that I'm looking. So maybe I'm missing it on some other books, but don't see that anywhere. Let's go Godspeed. I know you've been waiting for a minute. What's up, Godspeed? Talk to me.
What's up, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. How you?
I'm doing good, man. Just a quick little recap for yesterday. 0-2 on the straights that I gave out on the show, man. Like Canadian Cam came up, said Brook Lopez got 2 blocks early and just couldn't get the third one, and then Lou Dort he regressed a little bit. You know, he been shooting the ball well. He's been cashing, so we do for regression. But it's all good. You know, you win some, you lose some. Can't win every day.
That's a fact.
But as long as you gamble responsibly, you're going to live to gamble another day. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
But I'm going to give out, I'm just going to go over 3 guys that I like today. I'm going to share the parlays up at the top. I took them all for 6 assists and all of them for 8 assists. The first guy was Jay Nivey. I did take all of these as straights as well. I took Jay Nivey at 4.5 or -110. I took Marcus Smart 5.5 at plus money. And quickly, I took his 4.5 at, I want to say, -120. I don't know what the lines are now. But Jay Nivey, he's over 4.5 assists. And 9 out of the last 10 games without Cade, averaging 6.3 assists. He's averaging 7.4 assists. In the last 5 home games without Cade, he had 5 assists last season. We know last season Cade was out, and he had 5 assists when he was able to play Sacramento at home. You touched on it, man. Killian Hayes is terrible. He needs to be out. He needs to be out of this rotation. Like, Killian Hayes' minutes has started going down, but I feel like we gonna have to see him on the court tonight. But you know, he was starting over Jay Nivey. Then it just seemed like Jay Nivey started getting a few more minutes, taking them from Killian. But it always should have been Killian Hayes over Jay Nivey. Man, the dude is terrible. But yeah, the Kings, they allow the 8th most assists to point guards, and I say point guards because I do believe Jay Nivey is a combo guard. He's gonna be handling the ball. I hope and pray that he's handling the ball more than Killian Hayes tonight. And if that's possible, then he should get over this 4.5 assist line versus the Kings who want to play fast. Next, I took Marcus Smart. He's averaging 5.4 assists the season without Ja Morant. Last season, he saw I had a brain fart. Last season, he saw Dallas. And when he saw Dallas last season, he averaged 7 assists versus them. Granted, I know this is a whole different system, and Boston had way more offensive firepower than this Memphis Grizzlies team that they're going to put out there tonight. I think JJJ still questionable as well, and they without a lot of people. So this is a more riskier one. If you want to take this one off, that's fine as well. But when you look at Desmond Bane, he wanted to get drafted by the Dallas Mavericks. A lot of people don't know that. He wanted to get drafted by the Dallas Mavericks. So if you look at his last 3 versus the Dallas Mavericks, he's taking 20-plus shots, and he gets up for the games versus the Dallas Mavericks. He had 30 in his last 2 and 28 in the game before that. So I think Marcus Smart is going to be handling the ball. Also, Desmond Bane is under his assist line in 12 out of 14 games on the road. So I'm looking at Marcus Smart to be that facilitator. There's some blowout potential here. So if they keep it close, I like Marcus Smart. I kind of talked about Marcus Smart in another spaces. Last game they played Phoenix. You know, Marcus Smart, he is a guy, he got that dog in him. He's going to get up for big games and shit like that. So I do like Marcus Smart assists. And last but not least, Manu quickly, over 4.5 assists. 3 out of the 4 games is a Raptor, averaging 6.4 assists. In the last 2 games, he had 10 and 8 with a 15 potential assists. In those games, he has
talked about how he wants to improve his playmaking ability and get his teammates involved, and we see that now that he has the opportunity. In Toronto, he's covered it in 3 out of 4 of those games. He averaged 5.5 assists versus Los Angeles last season. In New York, coming off the bench and everything, so now he's a starter. He should see, I'm expecting 30-plus minutes. That's what he's averaging since joining Toronto, and under those circumstances in New York, like I said, he hit it in 2 out of 3 games. And the Lakers, they allow an average of 8.9 assists to the point guard position. I'm going to share the plays up top for y'all. Like I said, I took Jaden Ivey 6, Marcus Smart 6, and Emmanuel Quickly 6. It was a plus 1,200 when I got it on FanDuel. And then the 888 for all 3 of those guys was a plus 23K. I did round robin net by 2s. Super long shot. Staying light today. Like I said, I took each of those guys' lines of straights as well for 1 unit. But yeah, that's what I got, Chris. Like I said, I'll share it top so y'all check it out.
I appreciate you guys, B. Best of luck tonight, my brother. Like the looks for sure. Let's go, Keith. Keith, talk to me. What's going on? How you?
Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. How you?
Great, man. Thankful that it's a small slate. Kind of allows me to just take my time with my plays.
That's a fact.
I'm looking at this Knicks game. I had to ask Flo earlier about OG's rebounds because I remember I was listening and just rewatching the last Knicks game where they completely blew out the Wizards. And Clyde was saying, like, there's no way OG's not going over his rebound line. Like, he's look at his frame. Like, there's no way he's not going over his rebound line. But again, the blowout potential, the over 4.5 is cool. But I'm actually looking at Dante DiVincenzo, and I've capped a couple rebound lines versus the Portland Trailblazers. And I found this out. I kind of came up with a hypothetical statement in it. 2 times it tested true. 1 time I was able to cash a crazy, insane parlay with Kuzma and Denny Avdia points. And rebounds, but Denny Avdia hit his max cash, and Trey Jones hit his max cash. Both of those guys have one thing in common: they both play at a pace at above 500. Above 100. And the Knicks have been playing faster and faster and faster with each game this month. The last 2 games are playing at a pace of 100. So what I'm getting at is I took players that are the leaders of their. Obviously, they got to be able to rebound, and the opportunities have to be there. So I took players that are above the pace of 100. And I found that on the Knicks, there's 2 guys, DiVincenzo and there's Brunson. So I love DiVincenzo tonight to go over his 3.5. And I was looking at previous box scores. I know that's not the best way to kind of do research and cap games. I looked at the box score. The last time both these teams were in this position, Grimes was starting at the 2. And I think he went for 7 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. And DiVincenzo's gone over 3.5 in 4 of the last 5 games. I think he was 3rd on the team, 4th on the team, I think, in the last few games this month in rebound opportunities. And if we want to beat the Portland Trailblazers, they're last in rebounding. They're in the bottom in like 5th, maybe 6th of the league in rebounding. They're dead last in opponents' best race. They're the only team that's allowing over 23 points. I think the next closest team is 19. I just saw what a Villanova dog did, even though the team lost. I just saw what Mikal Bridges did. It's nothing but a quick text to your group chat like, yo, you just saw what I did. Kill these guys real quick. I did sprinkle Brunson triple-double just because of the odds. I got it at 7K. It whittled down to 32-1. But I actually love DiVincenzo today because I feel as though he's going to be fulfilling the role Grimes did when he was starting in this position last time when the Knicks were home and it went to overtime. But he's been cashing over his 3.5. I got it at -102. And I took his ladder up to 6 and 8. I believe 6 was 260, and I got the 8 at 1,000. I'm trying to come up with a bomb, but I kind of don't care to go too crazy. And one other lean I have for today is Austin Reeves over his points and assists at 22.5. I like the line because not only has he faced this coach, I forgot how to pronounce his name, but he's faced the Raptors head coach during FIBA. And he had 23 points. And to me, he's gone over his 5.5 in 4 of the last 5 games, coming off of kind of a bad matchup against the defensive lineup of the Clippers. I don't really see Quickly or Schroeder kind of locking him up, and I don't see them having an answer for one of the effective pick-and-roll games between Reeves and AD. So I like Reeves to go over his points and assists at 22.5. But my favorite look today, like after doing all this research, I'd have to say my favorite look today is DiVincenzo rebounds because if I stick to that same method and it works, and it worked 3 times, Trey Jones went over twice and he maxed out with 8. Danny Avdija was 1 shy from maxing with 11. And he smashed his line. And then Trey Jones went over again in the second game with 5. I'm going to stick to the same method and go with Dante DiVincenzo over his 3.5 rebounds.
Dante DiVincenzo over 3.5 boards. Should be a bunch of missed shots today. Could not talk you off of that look at all. Best of luck today, Keith. I hope you cash, my brother. DiVincenzo rebounds at on FanDuel right now. Best place you can get them. You're not laying juice at all. Minus 102 for DiVincenzo to get 3 rebounds tonight. Best of luck to you tonight, Keith. So on my short list, let me go back through the slate real quick, because like I said, I only put in 1 bet, and I think it's pretty safe. It is a pretty safe bet for me today. I ain't even go too crazy. I did, research these games a ton. Kings and Pistons. Just doing a quick recap. Kings and Pistons. If I'm taking anything in the game, I still think I think the Kings are laying a few too many points here. Pistons plus 11 sounds crazy. Under 240 also sounds crazy, but I would look at those. I think what Dream mentioned about Sasser is we probably won't get Sasser lines, but Marcus Sasser I think is in a really good spot. Couldn't talk anybody off Ivy over his points, rebounds, and assists. This line for Jaden Ivey, this is the first game that he's going to be playing without Cade this season. And if he goes over this number, or if he crushes it, let's say he finishes with 30 points, rebounds, and assists tonight, this line is going to be inflated the next game. We may be getting a buy low spot for Jaden Ivey tonight. Timberwolves and Magic, like I said, I like the Timberwolves today. Minus the 5. This number is 4.5. I see a juice at minus 120 on ESPN bet, but I do think it's a Timberwolves spot. Like I said, for me, the Magic going to regress just a tad bit. Especially without having all of their guys in the Timberwolves, much motivated spot. They got the Celtics tomorrow, probably gonna lose that game. So I like the Timberwolves, but I put them in the money line parlay with the Dallas Mavericks. Also, Paolo Banchero, I know he's been hooping, but I would only go under on his points, rebounds, and assists. I think the number is 42.5. Still ain't pull the trigger there. Next game we got is the Blazers and the Knicks. I lean Blazers team total under. I also think the Knicks can cover that big spread, but I'm not doing it. I'm definitely not doing it. Staying away from that. Grizzlies and Mavs. Be Mavs first half and Mavs full game for me. I think the Grizzlies get smoked tonight. Raptors, Lakers. Like I said, I do think the Lakers can cover the 5, and I also would play. I'll probably stay off the total now. I know when we started the show, it was at 236. It opened at 230. This total's going up 8 points now, all the way up to 238.5. With the Raptors on the front end of a back-to-back with the Clippers tomorrow. So I lean Lakers, and I also lean towards the total to go over. But the only thing I played, like I said, got a couple things that's in the bet slip, but haven't pulled the trigger on them yet. Timberwolves, Mavs, money line parlay, minus 107. Real quick before we finish up, I see Godspeed hand up, so I'm going to go back to him, and then we'll finish. What's up, Godspeed?
What's up, bro? I had this screenshot in the chain, but I somehow lost it. But I just want to touch on Jaden Ivey. I know I see his double-double is actually plus 1,700. But when you hit the numbers, it's a long shot. But when you hit the numbers without Cade, I wanted to give these to y'all when I was going over it. But in his last 10, his assists without Cade, he had one game with 3 versus Chicago. But before that, he had 9 versus Indy, 10 versus Brooklyn, 7 versus Miami, 6 versus Orlando, 9 and 9 versus Houston and Oklahoma, 8 and 8 versus Toronto and Milwaukee, and 5 versus Atlanta. So like I said, his line is 4.5, guys. So yeah.
4.5. Ooh, okay. That's Kings ranked bottom 10 in point guards allowed to. It's in assists allowed to point guards as well. They giving up 9 a game, which the Utah Jazz giving up 10.5 is the most in the league over the course of the full season. So couldn't talk you off that at all. Sacramento could be fired up tonight. We'll see how it goes though. Best of luck tonight, man, on all your action. We got tons of games tomorrow. Don't go too crazy, bet responsibly. Shout out to all the speakers, Godspeed, Keith, Dream, Cam, Flo, everybody that came up, everybody that hit the like button for me, retweet the show, share the show, all those good things. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Best of luck on your action. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm out.